Everyone, welcome back to day 26 of my vlogs. Now 2 days ago I said that I talked about a subject that I was pretty uncomfortable with, sharing. Today is definitely another one of those cases, even more so than that day. And it's for different reasons. 2 days ago, I didn't want to talk about it because it felt weird talking about it because I didn't feel like I was that kind of person. Today, I don't want to talk about what I'm talking about because it's just very uncomfortable. I'm not even going to talk about everything that happened, and you'll see why. But we're going to finally go along with the story, and so by the time that Chrissy got back from Georgia, one of the first things she wanted to do was hang out, with her friends that she missed, aside from me, obviously. But when she told me she wanted me to come with her, I was like, because she wanted to go out drinking. She wanted to go to the bar, and I was like, I didn't really feel like it. I wasn't really in the mood that night. But she kept telling me, she was like, you don't need to drink. You can just come with me. You can drive. I just want you to, I just want to spend more time together, even though it was going to be with other people. So I was like, all right, fine. I understood where she was coming from. She just got back. She was gone for a couple weeks, almost. But, so I was like, I tagged along. We went to the bar. And, it was kind of like my birthday in the sense that we were all at a bar, her and her friends were getting drunk. One thing I should mention, especially definitely important in a little bit, is the fact that Rios wasn't there. I don't remember exactly why she was out of town, but she was out of town. Anyway, things progressed kind of like my birthday. Eventually by the end of the night, it was just the two of us. And, the one thing that I should probably mention, and I think I've mentioned this before, was that as a very devout Catholic, as Chrissy was, she was also very devout in her drinking. Normally that wouldn't be a problem with me because, I didn't mind drinking either. The problem with it was that Chrissy didn't know her limits. And it wasn't a very high limit to begin with, so that did lead to one of the big things I really didn't like about her. So just to show you how bad it was, basically, by the time it was just the two of us, the manager already came up to me and said, that she was cut off, that we should probably, leave, because he could already tell that she was pretty bad. And, to be honest, there's only ever been 2 instances I've ever seen someone get cut off, and they definitely deserved it. There's a lot of times where I've been to a bar, and me or one of my friends get cut off, and it didn't really feel like it, but, if that's their judgment, then fine. There's only ever been 2 instances where they say that they're cut off and they deserved it. This is one of those times. Chrissy was definitely pretty bad. The other time was with my cousin, but that's a different story. So, another bad thing was the fact that Chrissy drove to, she picked me up and she drove to the bar, so, I wasn't drinking, so I was like, I'll drive, it's fine. By the time we got back to the apartment, I brought her up because I didn't want to just drop her off, and I was like, I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh crap, because I didn't have my car. How was I going to get home? And so, by the time we got to the apartment, I was like, I told that to Chrissy. I know she was drunk, but I was like, I don't know what to do. I could bring your car, bring it home, but then if I don't wake up early enough the next day, my mom and dad are going to be like, whose car is that? And it's just going to raise a bunch of questions that I didn't want to get to. So Chrissy was just like, why don't you just stay here? I'll wake up tomorrow, I'll try to sober up, and I'll bring you home. As early as I can. I really didn't want to do that. Even then, I was like, that isn't... I just didn't feel comfortable with that. And I know you're probably like, oh, come on, Oliver. It was like my birthday in the sense that if there's any ever opportunity to... Since I'm pretty uncomfortable with talking about this, let's just say that I didn't want to dance. Well, there's a part of me that didn't want to dance, and there's definitely a part of me that did. But, I like to think of myself as somewhat of a pretty noble person. I already knew that Chrissy was drunk, and I didn't want to take advantage of that again. Like I almost did on my birthday, so I was like, I don't really want to, hang around here. I want to just go home. But, Chrissy just was like, come on, it's just spending the night. We're not doing anything. I'll bring you home tomorrow. So I was like, no, I guess, because I didn't really have any other choice aside from bringing the car, and which I didn't want to do, definitely. But obviously, I don't want to say obviously, Chrissy definitely wanted to dance that night. And like I said, don't get me wrong, part of me definitely wanted to. A lot of me didn't want to. It took every ounce of strength in my body to say no. And this is definitely the part where I get very uncomfortable, because I hope you really don't think less of me if you're part of my family or any of my friends. But she just wouldn't stop. She wouldn't take no for an answer. And I fought it. I fought it as much as I could. I need some water. I fought it as much as I could. And this is the part where I really don't elaborate on. There are things that I don't mind covering in this story, like most of the rest of this. This is probably the one instance that I'm not going to go into detail, because I don't want to paint either of us in that much of a negative light, especially Chrissy. If you're wondering why, you'll understand eventually. But I just don't want to do that to her, especially. I mean, all you have to know is that, look, even before I was, when we were in her apartment, even before, the truth of the matter was, I was a 21-year-old virgin up to that point, and some of that was by choice, most of it wasn't. And there was a part of me that still wanted to hold onto my religious values and wait. There was also another part of me that just really didn't mind that, figured when it happens, it happens. I'm not going to tell you who was right and who was wrong in the matter, because, we were probably both equally wrong in the matter. But I guess I can just jump ahead and let you jump to conclusions and just tell you that, the next day, I climbed out of Chrissy's bed, helped sober her up, and, she dropped me off. It's funny, this is definitely me coming across like a huge jerk, like a huge asshole, and I get it, and even I believe it, but there was a part of me that was actually kind of disappointed that it happened how it did. Myself, more so in myself than Chrissy, but it is what it is. It definitely led, that night definitely led to our demise. I really lost a lot of respect in myself and her, but mostly me, that night. And it's just something that really damaged us to the point that I already knew by then that we weren't going to work out anymore, that we were already on borrowed time. And it wasn't until a few days later how much I realized that was the truth. If you didn't already know, this is, in this story, this is already early January 2010. If you didn't already know, my dad passed away in January 2010, and that is what I'm going to talk about in a couple days, and how that was really the straw that broke the camel's back. I think that's the saying. That was the final thing that really ended us. But yeah, anyway, that should be it for today's video. If you've been watching this from the beginning, thank you, definitely from the bottom of my heart. If you like it, give it a like. If you didn't, you can give it a dislike, I guess. But yeah, that's all, I guess. Until tomorrow. See ya.